Recently, I officiated at a wedding ceremony. I can't begin to tell you how many times that I've enjoyed the sacred privilege of standing at the marriage altar with the groom as he watches his bride walk down the center aisle. In a few moments, they will pledge their undying, unending love for each other. In a few moments, they will be pronounced husband and wife. In a few moments, real life, married life begins. As we exchange the wedding vows, and frequently we use the traditional wedding vows, there is a phrase in those traditional wedding vows that has recently occupied the forefront of my mind. The phrase "to love and to cherish" stands out above all the others. I used to think that love was all that was necessary to enjoy a vibrant and vital marriage relationship. I've come to the conclusion that that's the beginning point. Love for each other is what brings you to the marriage altar, and love for each other is what compels you to go through those early stages of marriage. But there's something much deeper, something much more precious, something that I want to encourage you to embrace in your marriage relationship beginning today, and that is to cherish. If I cherish something, I place a very high value on that object. I will take care of it. Maybe I will put it behind glass, or I will make sure that it's on a high shelf so that no one can accidentally break that which I cherish. If I cherish my wife, I will go out of my way to protect the marriage relationship. If I cherish my wife, I will look for opportunities to let her know that she is special and that she is cherished. I will go out of my way to care for her. For almost 30 years, I have navigated this wonderful adventure called marriage. And out of that, I have some ways in which I would encourage you to move toward cherishing the other person, your spouse. 3 ways that I would like to have you hear and to put into practice. Because after all, who doesn't want a vibrant marriage relationship? The first thing I would suggest is study each other. Now, I'm not saying that you go back to school and take a subject or a class in the subject of your spouse, but really study the other person. Learn to know your spouse. Learn to know them better than they know themselves. Discover their little habits, their minute likes and dislikes, the way in which they maybe move their eyes or their eyebrows. See, little facial expressions can convey a great deal of conversation if we know what those mean. As you learn to know your spouse, you learn to know what pleases them, what honors them, what lets them know that you cherish them more than anything else in the world. The second thing that I would have you to embrace is the idea of serving one another. Extend those common courtesies. Look for and do the small things that you have discovered that means so much to them. As you've studied your spouse, now you've discovered some things that they really, really like. Do those things. Go out of your way to incorporate them into your life as a way of blessing them. Some of the common courtesies that we can show to each other is opening doors, car doors, doors into a building. Not because they can't do it, but because they're special to us. Make their favorite meal. If you know what their favorite meal is, provide that meal. You don't have to eat that meal 7 nights a week, but at least once in a while. Spend time together. Enjoy those special moments over a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, where it's nothing on the agenda except just being together. Bring home their special favorite flower. Now, you should know what that is if you've done step 1. Step 2 is doing those things that you've discovered. Let the other one know that you are thinking of them. And sometimes this can be playful as well. But you get the idea of the little things in which you can and should be doing to have the spouse, your spouse, the one that you pledged your life to let them know that they're special. And number 3, lastly, share your schedule. This is such a small thing, but it is absolutely huge. Sharing your schedule with each other not only conveys factual information, but it builds trust. In essence, you are saying to them, I value our relationship so much that I want you to know what I'm doing. In this era of smartphones and texting, there should be no reason not to stay current with our schedules, even if something changes in midday. I know my wife has learned to know that she can count on me to give her updates as to what my schedule is, where I'm going, how long I'll be there, and perhaps even the people that I will be meeting with. It builds trust. It enables her to know that I cherish this relationship so much that I don't want to allow a bit of mistrust or even the questioning. Who's he meeting with? What's he doing? But I value that relationship. Here are just 3 ideas that you can put to work in your marriage so that you can begin the vibrancy of being in a cherished relationship. Marriage doesn't have to be mundane. It can be absolutely magnificent. Those are my 3 ways in which you can begin to build into your relationship the idea of cherishing your spouse. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share this video with others that you know could be blessed by hearing something like this. It's just a little bit of time, but it can make a huge difference in your relationship.